We opened up August 28th. We are 3.5 months old, which is the strangest thing. We're like little babies. And it's really been wonderful. You dream about creating something new and exciting, and you have all of these theories about how it should work and what the students will do. And then you actually bring live people in it, and it's very exciting. And everything is different than you think. But everything we wanted to create, we really have. Students are really learning in a hands-on way. We had, the first semester, we brought in a ship called the Half Moon, which is a great big ship that is a replica of an old ship that was used by Henrik Hudson back in the 1600s. And we had 12 of our students on that ship. We have about 110 ninth graders and 35 10th graders. We brought in a very small 10th grade. Students are already in school by 9th grade and they're not interested in moving, and we had a very small group of students who really wanted to come, and we decided to open that grade to accommodate them. But it's mostly our 9th grade class and the small number of 10th graders. They will move on up next year to 10th and 11th, and we'll bring in a new group of 9th graders, and that's the way we're going to operate. We're just basically going to bring a new 9th grade, and that's working the way we had planned it originally. We have laptops for every student. We don't use textbooks most of the time. We have students really doing active learning. We've brought the environmental studies not only into the science classes, but into the social studies classes, which are connected to the history of America seen through the lens of the Connecticut River. And in our English curriculum, we've also incorporated it. The first book we had students reading was a book called Stuff. And it's all about how we get all consumed with buying stuff in this country. And what happens to the stuff that we buy, and where does it go, which is very environmental. It's not tied to the river, but it's tied to everything. And when we look at the environment with the school, that's what we mean. We've got a wonderful staff. We've got a really good principal. I think we always said from the beginning we wanted students involved with active learning. You know how students sit in school sometime, and you walk into a school and you see a whole bunch of students sitting in the back rows and they're not paying any attention?
Yes, yes.
You walk in, and I'll show you when we go over there in a few minutes. The students are actively involved. You don't walk into a class and see students just sitting there. They're all on their laptops. They're all working on projects together. They're all doing different things. That surprised me, because in theory I thought that would work. It's happened much, much more. And the thing that most interesting to me about it is the number of students we have who were really terrible students last year, who did very poorly in their 8th grade, or even some of the 9th graders, who came here because they said they wanted a fresh start, who are working hard and are excited and smiling all of the time because they really feel like they're involved with something. But these are for parents who don't know. What we're finding is that so many people know about us already that it's really very different. Last year at this time, nobody knew anything about us. Remember, we did the interview.
Exactly.
You didn't know. Nobody knew. Now everybody's here. Oh, Goodwin College has a high school. Then we said Goodwin College is trying to open a high school. Now we have one, and it makes it so much easier to do. And we find people all the time who know. And we've been doing a lot of ads on the radio, and people are calling all of the time. I got a half a dozen calls pretty much every day from parents who want more information. Our website is all set up, so we have a lot of information, the newspapers and the mailings. And the open houses are really for people who need to know more. The big one is the one on January 29th. I'm expecting about 400 people there. It's a Saturday morning, and it's a more leisurely time. We're not even allowed to know what their grades are. So if you were to apply, all we would know would be your name, address, phone number, and that's about it. Email address. And what grades you're applying for. Students don't put down grades. The only rule is if you're in 8th grade and you don't pass 8th grade, you can't come into our 9th grade. But other than that, it doesn't matter what the grades are. Which is why it's so important when we take a look at students who are not doing well last year, to be able to have success with those students, because we can get all D students and we have no control over that.
Now remind me, what is the number of applicants for the next 9th grade class?
We have 120 places, 60
places.
for Hartford residents and 60 for all of the other suburban communities put together. That depends on an organization called the Regional School Choice Office, RESCO we call it.
Okay.
We don't do the lottery, they do. Generally what they're saying is they should do the actual lottery sometime around the middle of March. It takes about a month and a half for them to type in all of the information because parents are applying by online, parents are applying in paper. So the deadline has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications. Then somebody has to put them all into the computer. Then they have to make sure the computer works. Last year, I think they did it around the 23rd, 24th of March before they actually got it done. And I think that's about when it's going to happen this year. So toward the end of March, they'll do the lottery. Parents are supposed to know immediately, but that never happens either. It just takes time. So my guess is it'll be about the 10th, 15th of April by the time people really know.
Mid-April around.
I think so. Practically speaking, I mean, they can tell you something else, but realistically, I think it's going to be toward the middle of April before. Let me tell you all about the new building, actually.
Yep.
I mentioned the temporary building that's over there that I'm going to take you to, and we'll walk by the red brick building so you'll see it. We're expecting to build our new building all the way down at the end of Riverside Drive. When you came in off of Route 2, you came in from
Route 2, yeah.
Right.
84 Route 2.
If you're going down this way, back toward Route 2, the very last piece of land on your left, there are two little red brick buildings. There's a white and blue building and a white and orange building. It's all the way down there on the left. That whole area we're taking over for this school. So that's the new site. We're going to be breaking ground, we think, this summer. There are lots and lots of permits that need to be done and permissions. It's a big process. We expect that the building will be built for the 2012-13 school year. We don't know if it's the beginning of the school year, the middle of the school year, or the end of the school year. We just don't know. But during that year, we expect to move into that building.
Because of the relations that they formed, I see kids beginning to believe in themselves and really gaining confidence in their ability to succeed and really embracing the opportunity that lies before them to go to college as an 11th and 12th grader here, right on the academy site. The opening of the school included a mandatory open house where parents had to come. Parents had to come in and register their students. So there was that early contact. Then we had a parent night where they could come in for conferences, very well attended. I've just formed a parent group called RAP, River Academy Parents. And as PTO type groups go at the high school level, it was very well attended and they're very motivated to get involved with the students. I have a lot of parent contact because pulling from 22 towns, a lot of parents will pop in to pick up their children for dismissals and things like that. So there's a lot of contact with parents, and all of them, to the person, has really given us positive feedback. So it's been a great experience that way. 12 certified teachers, because we only have about 140 students. So 12 certified teachers, and then I have a guidance counselor, school counselor. Okay. I just hired a social worker. Okay. I have an office manager, myself, and 3 what we call instructor or instructional assistant. We just finished exams. Yeah. So we actually, today's our first day of the new semester.
Oh, okay.
So students all started new electives, which are wonderful for them to have the opportunity to do that. So we're offering something called social justice, which was very, very popular. We're offering another elective called digital photography. Again, very, very popular with our students. Additionally, we're planning in the near future a trip to the Connecticut Science Center. We're going to continue working with Goodwin to have some of their staff come over, especially in the science classes, to do lectures and things like that. We frequently bring our students over there, so there's that opportunity for the students to see firsthand what it is the college experience looks like. You know, I think that's really important for especially young students to get a feeling for it, so they can say, I can see myself here. That's really, really important. I've seen eagles 3 times this year, right out on that tree. It lands right there. I mean, how many people get to do that? And the kids have seen that, and the kids have got to go out on the river and look at some things when the half moon was here. That was a big event for us. That actually took up about 3 weeks of instructional time, and that was our focus here. So, and the teachers have watched test holes go in as they get ready to do more things with the land here, because all this land has been remediated, and so they have to monitor the land. And what a better place to study the environment than a place where you could see the test holes coming up out of the ground and see what's going on. It's very real to our students, which is really important. Now they sometimes don't want to get their sneakers wet or dirty, but you know, when you come to a school that's environmental studies themed, I think you need to really be prepared to get dirty once in a while.